Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to explain about conditional sentences and wishes. This material can be seen at Understanding and Using English Grammar, 3rd edition, written by Pati Azhar, page 413 up to 434. About this material, I believe that all of you have already been familiar with this material before in your previous classes. So, at this time, I'm going to only enrich your understanding about this one, about conditional sentences and wishes. Okay, the first slide is about overview of basic verb forms used in conditional sentences. When we talk about conditional sentences, we talk about the 3 types of conditional sentences. First type, second type, and the third type. Have a look at the situation, true in the present or future. This is the first type of conditional sentence. And then untrue in the present or future, it is the second type. And then untrue in the past, it is the third type. In conditional sentences, there are 2 kinds of clauses. The first one is if clause, or it is called as subclause, and the second one, result clause, or is famously known as main clause. For the first type of conditional sentence, for the if clause, it must be in the form of simple present, and for the result clause or main clause must be in the form of simple present or simple future. Have a look at the example. If I have enough time, I watch TV every evening. If clause, if I have enough time, if clause is in the form of simple present, I watch TV every evening. Result clause or main clause is in the form of simple present. The second example, if I have enough time, I will watch TV later on tonight. If I have enough time, I will watch TV later on tonight. In this example, for the if clause or subclause, it is in the form of simple present, and for main clause, it is in the form of simple future. And then for the second type of conditional sentence, the if clause must be in the form of simple past, and result clause or main clause must be in the form of past future. Have a look at the example. If I had enough time, I would watch TV now or later on. If I had enough time, this case is a subclause or if clause. It must be in the form of simple past. I would watch TV now or later on. The main clause is in the form of past future. I would watch TV now or later on. Would plus verb 1. Subject, would plus verb 1. And then the last type of conditional sentence, that is type 3. For the if clause, it must be in the form of past perfect. For the result clause or main clause must be in the form of past future perfect. Would have plus past participle. Past participle is the verb 3. Have a look at the example. If I had enough money, I would have watched TV yesterday. In the if clause, it must be in the form of past perfect. If I had enough money, I would have watched TV yesterday. In the main clause must be in the form of past future perfect. I would have watched TV yesterday. So, to sum up, for the first type of conditional sentence, the structures must be simple present for if clause plus simple present or simple future for result clause. For the second type, for the if clause, it must be in the form of simple past, and result clause must be in the form of past future. For the third type of conditional sentence, the if clause must be in the form of past perfect. The result clause must be in the form of past future perfect. So, to draw a conclusion, for result clause must be in the form of future. For example, like this. For if clause, it must be in the form of simple present, while for result clause must be simple present or future. For the second type, for if clause, it must be in the form of simple past. For result clause must be past future. The third type of conditional if, in the if clause, it must be in the form of past perfect. In the result clause must be in the form of past perfect future. By looking at the structures for the result clause, there is an additional feature from the if clause. Like for the first type, simple present, the result clause must be simple present or simple future. For the second type, simple past, and result clause must be past future. For the third one, past perfect, for if clause, and result clause must be past perfect and then future. You get my point? I believe you can get my point. If you do not understand my explanation, you may ask some questions in the comment box below the video. Next, we talk about the first type of conditional if. For the first type of conditional if, the result clause has various possible verb forms. A result clause verb can be the simple present to express the habitual activity or situation, as in A. If I don't eat breakfast, I always get hungry during class. Habitual activity or situation. So this expresses habitual activity or situation. If I don't eat breakfast, I always get hungry during class. The second, either the simple present or simple future to express an established predictable fact or general truth. Water freezes or will freeze if the temperature reaches 32 Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius. It can be in the form of simple present or simple future to express an established predictable fact or general trait. The third, the simple future to express a particular activity or situation in the future. If I don't eat breakfast tomorrow morning, I will get hungry during class. Express particular activity or situation in the future. And then you may use modal or phrasal modal such as should, might, can, be, going to, as in D. If it rains, we should stay home. If it rains, I might decide to stay home. If it rains, we can't go. If it rains, we are going to stay home. So you may use modal or phrasal modal. Should, might, can are modals, and be going to is phrasal modal. And then you may also use an imperative verb as in E. If anyone calls, please take a message. So this one is an imperative. Sometimes should is used in an if clause. It indicates little more uncertainty than the use of the simple present, but basically the meaning of examples E and F is the same. If anyone should call, please take a message. If anyone should call, please take a message. Those two are the same in terms of meaning. But the last one, for the if clause, there is a word should. It means that it is a little more uncertainty than the use of simple present. More uncertainty, but the meaning is almost the same between E and F. And then we talk about the second type of conditional sentence, untrue or contrary to fact in the present or future. You had taught this class, I wouldn't give tests. In A, the real condition or the true condition, I do not teach this class. In B, if I were here right now, he would have asked. In real condition, he is not here right now. C, if I were you, I would accept the invitation. It means that the real condition is I am not you. Note, were is used for both singular and plural subjects. Was with I, he, she, it is sometimes used in informal speech. If I was you, I would accept the invitation. Have a look at this one. These are conditional ifs. Well, these are the real condition. So for the real condition, if the conditional if or if clause is in the form of simple past, the real condition is in the form of simple present. If the real condition is in the form of simple past, of course, the real condition is simple present. If simple past, simple present. So from these examples, we can draw a conclusion that for the real condition, you must go forward. If the if clause is in the form of simple past, you must go forward to simple present. I'm going to draw a timeline. Okay, I'm going to draw a timeline. This one is past and present. If the if clause is in the form of simple past, you may go forward to simple present. Like, if I taught this class, I wouldn't give tests. In truth, I do not teach this class. So it is in the form of simple present negative. So when you want to try to find a real condition of the conditional if the conditional if is in the form of simple past and the real condition must be in the form of simple present, it means that you must go forward from past to present, from positive to negative, or from negative to positive, from positive to negative, or the other way around, from negative to positive. Yeah. Like in P, if he were here right now, he would help us. It is in the form of simple past. To know the real condition, you must go forward to present. And this one is positive, you must go to present negative. In truth, he is not here right now. Okay. If I were you, I would accept their invitation. For the real condition, you must go forward. So go to the present, simple present, and it is positive to simple present negative. In real condition, I am not you. Okay. Where is used for both singular and plural subjects. Was, with I, he, she, it, is sometimes used in formal speech. If I was you, I would accept the invitation. Was in conditional sentence is informal. But for the formal one, you must use were. Compare. If I had enough money, I would buy a car. If I had enough money, I could buy a car. The speaker wants a car but doesn't have enough money. Would expresses desired or predictable result. The speaker is expressing one possible result. Could is the same as would be able to. Could expresses possible option. Would expresses desired or predictable result, while could expresses possible action. Can you differentiate between those two? You want to express the predictable result. For example, if you had enough money, you would buy a car. If I had enough money, I would buy a car. It is a desired or predictable result. So there is no more options. For the second one, if I had enough money, I could buy a car. If you use could, it means that you may buy a car, you may buy a house, you may buy a motorcycle, you may buy a bicycle, you may buy some other things. It means that there are some options. That's why you can use could for many options, and it is the possible option. For would, there is no options. It is a predictable result. Now we come to the next, that is untrue or contrary to fact in the past. It is the third type of conditional sentence. If you had told me about the problem, I would have helped you. For the truth or the real condition, you did not tell me about it. So this is the real condition. This is the conditional if. Okay. Imagine that there are two conditions in conditional if. The first one is the real condition. The second one is conditional if condition. For the real condition is the real condition about you. For the conditional if, it doesn't happen yet. It is still if something happen, something will happen. So there are two conditions, real condition and conditional if. And point B, if they had studied, they would have passed the exam. In the real condition, they did not study, therefore they failed the exam. The third example, if I hadn't slipped on the stairs, I wouldn't have broken arm. In truth, the real condition, I slipped on the stairs, I broke my arm. Note, the auxiliary verbs are almost always contracted in speech. If you had told me, I would have helped you, or I would have helped you. I would have helped you. Contracted. There is a contraction, yeah, apostrophe, single apostrophe here, like this. Okay, for the conditional if and the real condition, if the conditional if is in the form of past perfect, the real condition is in the form of simple past. So imagine that there is a timeline. The more past is the past perfect, and more future is simple past. So if the conditional if is in the form of past perfect, the real condition must be in the form of simple past. If the conditional if is in the form of positive, the real condition must be in the form of negative. And the other way around, if the conditional if is in the form of negative, the real condition must be in the form of positive. Yeah, like I have already explained before, please draw a timeline between those two time relationship. The more past is past perfect, and then the more future is simple past. Yeah, the conditional if is in the form of past perfect, and then the real condition must be in the form of simple past. And then for the conditional if it is positive, the real condition must be negative, and the other way around. Like this one. If you had told me about the problem, I would have helped you. It is the conditional if, while for the real condition, in truth, you did not tell me about it, is in the form of simple past negative. If they had studied, they would have passed the exam. In truth, they did not study, because this one is in the form of past perfect, so the real condition must be in the form of simple past and negative. I hadn't slept on the stairs, I wouldn't have broken my arm. The truth, I slept on the stairs, I broke my arm. Because the conditional if is in the form of past perfect negative, so the real condition must be in the form of simple past positive. Okay. Then the next one, compare. If I had had enough money, I would have bought a car. Would expresses a desired or predictable result. And if I had had enough money, I could have bought a car. Could expresses a possible option. Could have bought, would have been able to buy. Could have bought, would have been able to buy. In casual, informal speech, some native speakers sometimes use would have in an if clause. If you would have told me about the problem, I would have helped you. This verb form usage is generally considered not to be grammatically correct standard English, but it occurs fairly commonly. Okay, for would and could, as the previous example, as the previous explanation, would expresses a desired or predictable result. So there is only one option. And for could, expresses the possible option. So the speaker may have more than one option. So when you use could, it is a possible option to do. Using progressive verb forms in conditional sentences. Notice the use of progressive verb forms in this example. Even in conditional sentences, progressive verb forms are used in progressive situation. True condition, it is raining right now, so I will not go for a walk. For conditional, if it were not raining right now, I would go for a walk. From true condition to conditional sentences, you must go backward. It is in the other way around. From conditional to true condition, you must go forward. Because the true condition is in the form of simple present, so the conditional if must go backward to simple past. If it were not raining right now, I would go for a walk. And if the true condition is in the form of positive, you must not have negative for conditional sentence. It is raining right now, so I will not go for a walk. For the true condition, it is raining right now, so I will not go for a walk. For the conditional, if it were not raining right now, so the conditional is in the form of simple past and negative. I would go for a walk. For the result clause must be in the form of past future. And for the next example, I am not living in Chile. I'm not working at a bank. And for conditional, if I were living in Chile, I would be working at a bank. Yeah, have a look at the true condition. The true condition is in the form of simple present, so for conditional, tense that is used must go backward. If I were living in Chile, I would be working at a bank. Don't forget to change from negative to positive. If the true condition is in the form of negative, the conditional sentence must be in the form of positive. The next sentence, it was raining yesterday afternoon, so I did not go for a walk. And for the conditional, if it had not been raining, I would have gone for a walk. Have a look at the tenses that are used in the true condition and conditional sentence. For the true condition, it is in the form of simple past. So for the conditional sentence, it must be in the form of past perfect. So go backward. And because the true condition is positive, the conditional sentence must be negative. And the last example, I was not living in Chile last year. I was not working at a bank. Conditional, if I had been living in Chile last year, I would have been working at a bank. Have a look at the true condition. The true condition is in the form of simple past negative. The conditional if, the tense must go backward. Past perfect positive. If I had been living in Chile last year, I would have been working at a bank. And then the result clause must follow the if clause. If the if clause is in the form of past perfect, the result clause must be in the form of past perfect future. The next one is using mixed time in conditional sentences. Frequently, the time in the if clause and the time in the result clause are different. One clause might be in the present and the other in the past. Notice that past and present times are mixed in these sentences. Have a look at the example. For the true condition, I did not eat breakfast several hours ago, so I am hungry now. For the first sentence or the first clause is in the form of simple past. So for conditional, the tense must go backward. Past perfect. If I had eaten breakfast several hours ago. The second clause in the true condition is in the form of simple present. So for the conditional must be in the form of past. And if the clause is put in the result clause or main clause, it must be in the form of past future. I would not be hungry now. So I am hungry now is in the form of simple present. For the conditional if, it must be in the form of simple past. For the simple past, for the if clause, the result clause must be in the form of past future. So it must be in the form of I would not be hungry now. And then the next example, he is not a good student. He did not study for the test yesterday. Remember, before we come to the next example, remember for negative and positive. If the real condition is in the form of positive, the conditional if must be in the form of negative, and the other way around. Then we come to the next example. He is not a good student. He did not study for the test yesterday. The true condition for the first sentence is in the form of simple present. So if you want to make this true condition to conditional if condition, the tense must go backward to simple past. If he were a good student. And then the second sentence, he did not study for the test yesterday, is in the form of he did not study for the test yesterday is the form of simple past. So if you want to change this real condition to the conditional if, you must change the tense into past perfect, negative to positive, positive to negative. If it is negative, so it must be in the form of positive, positive past perfect. When past perfect is used in conditional if, the result clause must be in the form of when past perfect is used in the conditional if, in if clause, the result clause must be in the form of past perfect future. Okay, got it? Don't forget to change from positive to negative, negative to positive. And then omitting if. Were I you, I wouldn't do that. With were, had, past perfect, and should, sometimes if is omitted and the subject and verb are inverted. Have a look at the example. A, were I you, I wouldn't do that. So in this case, if is dropped and the subject and the verb are inverted. I were you become were I you. B, had I known, I would have told you. If I had known, I would have told you. If it's dropped and the subject and the auxiliary had are inverted. Had I known, I would have told you. Should anyone call, please take a message. If is dropped and then we change the position of should and anyone. So the position of should and anyone are inverted. Have a look at the explanation. In A, were I you is actually if I were you. Had I known is from if I had known. Should anyone call is from if anyone should call. Like that. Implied condition. I would have gone with you, but I had to study. Often, the if clause is implied, not stated. Conditional verbs are still used in the result clause. For point A, the implied condition is, if I hadn't had to study, I would have gone with you. Yeah, that is the implied condition. For B, I never would have succeeded without your help. The implied condition, if you hadn't helped me, I never would have succeeded. And then the next one, conditional verbs are frequently used following otherwise. She ran, otherwise she would have missed her bus. The implied if clause, if she had not run. Using as if and as though. Have a look at the example. It looks like rain. Like is followed by a noun object. Have a look at B. It looks as if it is going to rain. As if and as though are followed by a clause. It looks as though it is going to rain. Like is followed by clause. This use of like is common in informal English, but as not generally considered appropriate in formal English. It looks as if it is going to rain. It looks as though it is going to rain. Notice in B and C, as if and as though are followed by a clause. It is going to rain. It as subject is going to rain. Is going is verb. It looks as if it is going to rain. It looks as though it is going to rain. B and C, as if and as though are followed by clause. It is going to rain. It as subject is going to as the verb. The last example, it looks like it is going to rain. It is considered informal. Like is followed by a clause. In D, this use of like is common in informal English, but it is not generally considered appropriate in formal English. As if or as though is preferred. A, B, C, and D all have the same meaning. Have a look at the next example. For the true statement of fact, he is not a child. Verb form after as if or as though. She talked to him as if he were a child. She did not take a shower with her clothes on. When for the statement, for the true statement, and then for as if or as though, when she came in from the rainstorm, she looked as if she had taken a shower with her clothes on. Remember to change from true statement to conditional. If, you must pay attention to the negative and positive. If the true statement is positive, the conditional if, as if or as though, negative. If the true statement is negative, the conditional if using as if or as though must be in the form of positive. He has met her becomes he has met her in true statement becomes he acted as though he had never met her. Never is the same as negative because the true condition is positive. The conditional if using as if or as though is negative by using never. She will be here. She spoke as if she wouldn't be here. Usually the idea of following as if or as though is untrue. In this case, verb usage is similar to that in conditional sentences. The next slide, verb forms following wish. Wish is used when the speaker wants reality to be different, to be exactly the opposite. I wish about the future. For true statement, she will not tell me. For the verb form following wish, I wish that she would tell me. About the future, for the first type of conditional sentence, he is not going to be here. I wish he were going to be here. She cannot come tomorrow. I wish she could come tomorrow. I wish about the present. I do not know French. I wish I knew French. For the true statement, it is raining right now. For the conditional if using wish, I wish it weren't raining right now. I cannot speak Japanese becomes I wish I could speak Japanese. A wish about the past, John didn't come, is the true statement, and it becomes I wish John had come. For conditional sentence using wish, Mary couldn't come becomes I wish Mary could have come. Wish is followed by a noun clause, past verb forms similar to those in conditional sentences are used in the noun clause. For example, in A, would in the past form of will is used to make a wish about the future. In the simple past, in D, the simple past knew is used to make a wish about the present. In G, the past perfect had come is used to make a wish about the past. Using would to make wishes about the future. It is raining. I wish it would stop. I want it to stop raining. I'm expecting a call. I wish the phone would ring. I want the phone to ring. Would is usually used to indicate that the speaker wants something to happen or someone other than the speaker to do something in the future. The wish may or may not come true. Be realized. It's going to be a good party. I wish you would come. We are going to be late. I wish you would hurry. In Sandy, I wish you would blah blah is often used to make a request. Okay, that's it. The explanation about conditional sentences and wishes. Thank you for your nice attention. Please wait for the next video. See you all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.